Alright guys, you ready to see what the engine is? Let's check it out. Yo, what's going on guys, and welcome back to the channel. So it's finally time that I give you guys a little bit of a Cefiro update because it's been a long time since I've given you any sort of update and there's a lot happening today. So right now, if you guys take a look, there's a lot of things missing from the engine, and that's for one big reason. This car right here deserves a lot more love, and honestly, I haven't given it enough in a long time. So right now, we're finally taking out this nasty RB20E and doing something a little bit more special. Can you guys guess what you think it is? That's right, we're swapping in a turbo engine. This thing needs a turbo engine. I mean, this poor guy, it's suffering right now with this single overhead cam RB20. So I got my buddy Dave over here. He's over here helping me wrench it out, and we're gonna start pulling this engine out as soon as the other motor starts coming in. In fact, if you guys think you can guess what that motor is, let me know down in the comments below. I promise you, we will be revealing it later in this video. But today's plan is basically to pull this old thing out and try to get the new one in. We still got a lot more things that we want to do to it before we actually get it up and running, but we at least want to try to get the motor into it. So we're gonna go ahead and put the camera down. We're gonna start doing some time lapses so you guys can see us start doing some of the work. I've already got most of the stuff pulled out, as you can probably tell. Also, I got a light. That's one of the most important things when you're vlogging in a really dark place over here. But finally, right? So we're gonna go ahead and start wrenching away and pulling all this engine stuff out, and then we'll start waiting for the new one to come in. So let's go ahead and start wrenching away. Alright guys, we finally got the motor out of the car. It took a little bit of convincing on our end to get this motor to come out because I left the exhaust attached to the car itself when we pulled it out, but yeah, we finally got it done. Man, it wasn't that bad though, I'll be honest. We've done everything with just hand tools today. I mean, well actually the whole time. I didn't use one air ratchet or one, what's the other one?
Impact wrench?
Impact wrench. We didn't use any sort of electrical or air tools. All were hand tools. So honestly, anybody can do this, guys. All you need is an engine hoist and a good buddy over there with some muscles that I don't have. But what we're gonna do now, right now we're waiting for the guy to come and drop off the other motor that we have coming in. Have you guys figured out what it might be? Let me know down in the comments below before you skip ahead to the next part of the video. So in order to kill some time, we're gonna go ahead and switch out the auto pedals with the manual pedals because those auto pedals are just not gonna work. So let's go ahead and get that done. So we had a bit of a problem with our pedals because for some reason, the emergency brake that the guy had before, they didn't have it bolted in. They have it like spot welded, which is really stupid. So now we gotta get that thing off before we can actually get the clutch pedal in there. So right now Dave's in there trying to break the spot welds. How's it looking?
I think we're getting there.
Yeah?
It looks loose.
All right, so we're gonna have to try to get that off, and once we get that off, then we can get the automatic brake pedal out, and then we can start swapping them in. So it's kind of hard to see, but right now, if you take a look, this is where Dave disconnected the brake master cylinder, and it bolts in with 4 nuts, and then it connects to the connecting rod right there, the brake connecting rod for the master cylinder. And then over here, it's kind of hard to see,
I'll make it easy.
but we have, so we have, so right there, if you look, is where our clutch master cylinder is going to connect to our brake pedal. And then we have our connecting points that are up here. So yeah, it's all coming together, guys. Coming together. First thing later on, I'm gonna sort this crappy alarm system that came with the car. I mean, Jesus. You guys have no idea how much shoddy wiring was done to this car that I have already taken apart. Like I said, I haven't filmed a lot of it. Last time you guys probably saw the car, it was in more or less of a normal state, but yeah, I've just been slowly taking this thing apart one piece at a time, and that's why I really haven't filmed it, but yeah, it's finally coming together. Now that we got the motor, it's gonna go in today, and then ideally, maybe in the next week or two, or probably 3 weeks or so, I say, we'll have all the rest of the pieces that we need to get the thing running. So fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed.
One eternity later.
All right, guys, it's actually been probably about a week or so since we did the actual swap. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record us putting the motor in because the security guards at my apartment complex started bothering Dave and I, and it just turned into this big mess, and all we wanted to do is get the motor inside the car and have it finished and done before anybody else could complain, because nobody complained at my apartment complex, but I think the security guys were afraid that somebody would, not because we were actually working on the car, but because I was using a vacant spot that was next to my car that nobody owns, no one ever uses, but whatever the case is, they were just kind of freaking out about it. So my buddy and I, we just decided, you know what, let's go ahead and just get this motor in, as much as we wanted to show the whole process of putting the motor into the car, but you know, it didn't work out the way we had hoped in that sense. But either way, the motor is actually inside the car. We're gonna go ahead and check out the motor in it here in a second. But first, I wanna go ahead and show you what I'm gonna go ahead and do right now. So I went ahead and I bought this secondhand Cefiro intercooler. This is just a factory side mount. And you can see it comes with all the piping. Actually, I have all the rest of the piping and things over on my table that I'm gonna try to start getting ready. But right now, I didn't wanna buy a front mount intercooler because really, there's nothing done to the car right now. I just wanted to get the car on the road as fast as possible, and this was a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get. And to be honest, it's in really good condition. Actually, if you can see, I'm wearing gloves because I've been cleaning it up too, but it's actually in really, really nice condition. And I just want to get the car running and starting faster than later. And you know, there's other things I still need to get before I can actually get the car on the road. But anyway, let's go ahead and head back downstairs where the car is at. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull off the bumper. We're gonna pull off the fender, and we're gonna do a little bit of other things there, but we're also gonna, of course, check out and see what's under the hood. All right, guys, you ready to see what the engine is? Let's check it out. RB26. Nope, just kidding. It's an RB20, guys. I didn't go with anything too crazy because honestly, like I said, I just wanted to get the engine inside the car. And you can see I have a lot of work still to do. Oh my gosh, there's still so much left to do to get this thing up and running, but to be honest, it's not as bad as it looks. I mean, I've got everything inside the car, the engine's bolted up, but the transmission's not, and I'm gonna show you guys that in a second. But I got the power steering reservoir all connected up, so I gotta change all the ones that were originally there, because I still have the old pump from the RB20E still in there, and I gotta connect it up to the new one. And what else do I gotta do? I gotta get all the cooling stuff set up. Fuel. Now this is something, I don't know if my car came with a fuel pressure regulator. Well, I'm actually pretty confident it didn't come with a fuel pressure regulator, but I've never actually seen this thing before, this blue thing. Now that's where my fuel pressure regulator should be, but there's this like blue adapter or something. I don't know. If you guys know what that is, let me know down in the comments below, because I've never seen that before, to be honest. Let's see, what else do we have? Just a lot of stuff that I need to go through and start showing you guys, but most of this stuff I'm going to be kind of wrenching away off camera just because I want to get it done, and this isn't exactly the most ideal setup that I have for me by myself. So right now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take off the front bumper, and then we're also going to take off the fender because I want to get the old wiring harness from the old like injectors and stuff. It has to go through the fender there's like a grommet over here that I have to pull it through. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling off the bumper and the fender, and I'm gonna start getting all this stuff taken care of. So let's see what I can do. So right now I got the corner lights taken off, and I found some of the bolts that I need to get the bumper. I have these two bolts right here. These are for the fender because I'm also gonna have to take this fender off right here to be able to pull the wires up from the old harness that's kind of hanging somewhere down here. I don't know if you guys can see it all. But that wire harness has got to come out, and let's see, I got the inner fender liner unbolted. The other side's completely missing, so I need to find one of those. And even the one that's over here on the driver's side, I'm sorry, the passenger side, it's like brittle, falling apart. I mean, it's it was cracking every second away that I was taking it apart. So this bumper is probably gonna have a lot of hidden secrets underneath. Hopefully it's not gonna be so bad, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and get it off. I've never taken it off before. I'm not sure if I have to take the headlights and the grill off too. More than likely, that would make sense, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and wrench away and see if we can get it off.
Perfect. Perfect.
Right there, and there's one right there, like a little stud. Not the actual drill point, but right here. There's this one, and there's this one up here. If you actually look on the bracket here, actually if I can pull the intercooler out. Right here you go. It actually lines up perfectly with these two holes here. So what I'm guessing is I'm gonna have to drill those holes out. And then up above, there's a couple brackets up here, like holes, that look like they would mount up or with these. I don't know if you can see them. So, from what I'm guessing is I'm gonna have to do some drilling, which I don't have a drill, unfortunately. You would think doing all this I would have a drill, but I have no drill. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'm gonna have to probably put some of the car back together because I can't just leave it here in front of my complex, just torn apart. So I'm probably gonna see if I can find a drill. That'll probably be the next thing that we do in our next video, at least with the car. And I also have some other things coming in the mail that are very important for the car, because believe it or not, the car is not exactly 100% bolted up right now. The transmission underneath the car is actually still hanging down a little bit. There's a jack underneath it to support it, but there's a bracket that came with the automatic that doesn't bolt up to the chassis. So I had to find a S13 B stamp one. Apparently that's the one that you need to line up with RB20 transmission. Even though the Cefiro came with a manual transmission, the manual transmission bracket doesn't line up. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me, but either way, I got the other bracket coming in the mail. Hopefully it's the right one, we'll see. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and close out the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Stick around for the build. There's a lot more coming along with this, and even though it looks like it's rough right now, hopefully the car should be up and running within the next few weeks. Fingers crossed, we'll see. So anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.